Alright everybody, another life experience and lesson this past week. I had made a New Year's resolution for 2018 to kind of experiment more with life this year, even if it does cost me in terms of missed opportunities or sometimes time, money, energy, whatever. Experiment more, take away lessons, and just like how we sometimes do a science experiment, to improve our knowledge base. So later this year, I think NASA is launching a probe toward the sun called the Parker Space Probe. And just like that, in my own life, I need to experiment more. Throw things out there, even if they end up in the sun, you know, just to learn more about how the world works and how life works and what works and what doesn't. And this week I learned, well, I've always known this proverb, but I've never really applied it to my own life, and this is one of the few times where I've actually learned a lesson and kind of applied it within the same week. One thing I routinely run into, one thing I always complain about is when I learn a lesson in life, the same circumstances never seem to occur again. It's like, why am I learning this lesson? I don't even get to do this thing again. It sometimes makes me wonder, do I apply this after I die, or do I get reincarnated and apply it? But this week I learned something, and then I applied it just 2 days later, so it was nice. I've always known the proverb that we should work smart and not hard. And I've heard it so many times in various different contexts. And I've never really gotten to apply the concept in life. It seems like whatever I do, smart and hard are usually parallel with each other. You work smart by working hard and vice versa. And they never seem to be at odds. But this week I learned that they can be. I'm still working on private tutoring with quite a few clients now. Still tutoring at a tutoring center, and then I'm also working on my my own personal tech startup, writing computer games. So maybe I could show a picture now that it's actually running something on the computer. Anyways, let me see if I can get this to run while I speak. Anyways, one of the problems is that I was trying to go the extra mile with one of my clients because I had hoped to eventually raise the price. I've been working with this client for 3 months now, and I had a little bit of an embarrassing start with him, not because of tutoring, but because of the issue with how he was paying me. His mother was paying me with a check, and I kept putting off cashing the check. I just got so much on my mind, and I didn't cash the check for weeks, and the mom thought I was crazy, and it got off to a rough start. But I eventually cashed the check, and anyways, but I hope to eventually raise the price, not because I'm greedy or anything, but because I'm putting a lot of investment into it, and I kind of not taking that into account when I was quoting the tutoring. What had happened is that his mom had called me about what her son is working on, and asked for a quote. And I asked her about the circumstances, where she lived, schedule-wise, how long each session, you know, how often, and all that. And I'd given her a quote of $40 an hour, and it was supposed to be a 2-hour session, so $80 a session. And then she told me that, well, what if we did 2 sessions a week? Can you give us a discount? And then she told me that she would refer others as well, and can I give her a discount? And I kind of felt like I had the $40 was kind of a minimum. I was trying to get them in. At the time, I had a slow time. This was right after midwinter break, and I very reluctantly dropped it to $70 a session if we did twice a week. And the other problem is that the commute. When I first started it, I wasn't too disappointed about. I have to drive about 20 minutes each way. I wasn't too disappointed about that until I realized that It's a very beautiful drive. That's why I wasn't too disappointed. But it's a beautiful drive if you drive there once a year. I mean, once it becomes a twice-a-week event, it's just like any other commute, right? And the other problem is that it might be a 20-minute drive, but I mentally have to book off like a whole hour before and after this session. It's not like somebody wants to do, 20 minutes after this session, and then I have other things. So it might be a 2-hour session from the kids' perspective. From my end, it feels more like a 4-hour session, and so I'm hoping to go the extra mile so I can eventually raise the price. I'm recording this video at on May 18th, and the place I'm doing tutoring, I'm here in Washington State. They have they're switching from spring to summer in middle of June, and this kid, he's almost finished with his, he's finished with his AP test, but he wants to study for the SAT test and SAT Math 2, I believe. Anyways, I've been trying to go the extra mile in the recent weeks because I hope to raise the price in the summer. And it's a 2-hour session that I'm working with him, but lately I've been going over by the time of doing 2.5, 3 hours. I'm not charging extra for it, and I usually work with him right after I get off of my job, so I get there at 8 o'clock, and it's supposed to be 8 to 10. And obviously don't have anything else after 10, and I often go over and make it 10:30 or 11, then I come back, and right now this month Jupiter is in opposition to the Earth, so at midnight it's really nice to view Jupiter. I come back and I view Jupiter and all that, and I'm really hoping to go the extra mile. And earlier this week, it kind of costed me. I misplaced my wallet with my credit cards and my passport over trying to go the extra mile with him and a few other clients. What had happened was that I was booking my trip. Oh yeah, another thing that makes me realize that this kid really likes me is that his mother had contacted me one time and asked me when I plan to go on vacation over the summer. And the reason she asked me was because they're also planning a vacation, and they wanted to have it coincide with mine so they can avoid missing out on too many tutoring sessions, because her son really works well with me. This is the first time I've ever heard a parent schedule tutoring like this. And it makes me realize, oh my God, I must be doing something right, and I definitely don't want to disappoint them. And so I'm feeling like I should go the extra mile so that I can charge extra eventually. I'm charging $70 per 2 hours, but part of the reason I want to charge extra is because, like I said, every time I go there, I end up booking off 4 hours of my schedule, and I like to be charging double so I can make the same amount working like half as much, is kind of the goal I'm going. Obviously, I'm not going to double my rates overnight, but that's kind of the goal I'm aiming for. So I've been going the extra mile, and 2 days ago, I was booking my trip to Taiwan for the computer gaming contest. So I'm competing in one of these games. Let's have the computer play another game against itself while I record. And so I gotten out my passport to enter my name. I wanted to make sure that the middle name was the way it was spelled, and I wanted to make sure everything's in order, it's not expired or anything. One of the annoying things is that on my passport, I still had very long hair, and I was a little bit overweight. So now that I've lost some weight, I don't want to cut off my hair because I don't want to go through security and run into a lot of questions. I've had times where I've almost gotten turned away over stuff like that, so I'm gonna have to keep my long hair until I come back. Anyway, so I booked my trip, and I got out my passport, I got out my credit cards, and booked the trip, and I was shopping around for the best airline ticket. In the middle of that, I actually called my boss to make sure that I could get one of the days. See, if I booked the trip for the weekend, it was a little bit more expensive. I wanted to see if I could come home on the Monday or the Tuesday after that, because that would shave almost $100 off of the ticket. So I was calling my boss to make sure that wouldn't be a problem with her. It wasn't, and I put down the phone and I booked the ticket, and I got a good price. And a couple minutes later, the kid that I'm tutoring calls me and says that he had made a mistake. His AP exam is 2 days from now, and he thought it was the week after, and he asked if I could have another session with him either that day or the following day. And I was looking at my schedule, and I really wanted to go the extra mile. So I said, well, I could probably get there in 30 minutes or so. And I packed my stuff up, and apparently I forgot to pack my passport, my credit cards. I didn't realize it until the next day that they were missing. After I realized they were missing, I retraced my steps and realized I had to have had them while I was booking my ticket, obviously. And then I looked at my credit card receipts and realized I hadn't used the card since then. So I put two and two together that I must have lost it while I was doing the ticket. And I raced back to the Starbucks to look for it. Not there. And I kind of retraced my steps to see where else I went after that. To no avail, and so I lost the passport. I'm very fortunate that the trip is still 7 weeks away and I can take care of it, but over a $70 session, now I have to spend like $200 to replace the passport and the driver's license, and I feel like I also didn't work very smart. First of all, I'm investing a lot of extra time to go the extra mile, and it's going to be very hard to raise the price because I'm already doing a 3-hour session, de facto doing a 3-hour session. I'm going to raise the price to make it official, maybe. We quoted 2 hours for $70, and now we're going to make it 3 hours for $100. That's going to sound a little bit awkward. And the fact that I went to the kid's home, at a moment's notice, I feel like it kind of worked against me because I feel the kid has this mentality that he could do that next time as well, and I probably should have went there very reluctantly, but I wanted to go the extra mile. I think I worked hard and not smart this time, which is what I'm trying to say. The other problem is that this kid, he drove me crazy because earlier I was trying to see if he could come to me, and I didn't want to lower the price if he came to me. So instead, I told him I could give him a better schedule. I told him, you have a lot to study. I hate to get here so late every day, and you go to bed at 11 because of me. And it's not very good for your studies. If you could come to Bellevue, I could give you a better schedule, and I might even throw in an extra half hour. Which is weird, because I throw in an extra half hour when I go there as well. And then I realized he doesn't have a driver's license. And he told me how he doesn't want to drive because his parents drive him everywhere. He tried driving one time and it scared the crap out of him. Oh man, he was looking at a college that was just like in their backyard because he doesn't want to drive very far. He wants to be able to take the bus there. And obviously his mom usually isn't available to drive him. I don't know what his mom does for a living, but every time I go there for tutoring in the middle at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 at night, his mom's not there. So whatever the case is, it didn't work out. So I've been trying to go the extra mile in terms of the scheduling and in terms of the length of the session every time. I know he needs it anyway. He likes learning his AP Computer Science, and he just took the exam. He felt like she should pass it. He doesn't get this grade until mid-June, obviously. Anyway, so I worked very hard, but not very smart, is what I'm trying to say. So earlier today, the kid texts me again. It's a Friday that I'm recording this, and he texts me that he can't do tomorrow because they're having a family gathering, and asked me if I would do Sunday. And here's the thing, Sunday is my only day off at the moment, and I really hate to give it to him. And in the past, I was in the work hard mentality. I would do it anyway, but this time I'm not going to give in so easily. So I text him and say, well, Sunday's my only day off. Is this like do you have a test on Monday or whatever? If you do, I could do it, but if not, I prefer we meet on Monday or Tuesday. And the way I'm thinking is I need to be working smart in order to work hard. If I keep burning myself out, my work hard mentality is going to suffer too. So that I'm not even working hard anymore if I allow myself to burn out. And so I very bravely sent that text message. I wasn't greedy this time. In the past, I got a little greedy. Not only for the work hard mentality, but just to get the extra $70 or whatever it was on Sunday. And I think it kind of backfired. I mean, obviously, I lost $200 with the missing documents. But in other ways, it has kind of backfired as well. When I lose my good credibility, when I go there, when I show up there or to other clients, very exhausted, the work hard kind of backfires on itself, not just on the fact that I'm not working smart anymore. Thanks for watching.